Welcome back student to another lecture. In last class we read about the transformation experiment conducted by Griffith as well as the proof that DNA is the transforming agent proved by Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. In this lecture today we will study about Hershey and Chase experiment, and this experiment was a groundbreaking experiment as this experiment proved that DNA is the genetic material, and this experiment by Hershey and Chase was carried out in 1952. They proved that DNA is the genetic material. As during the work by Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, there was proof that DNA was the transforming principle, but it was also supposed that protein might have been the genetic material. So Hershey and Chase experiment ended the long running debate between protein and DNA, which is the genetic material. This experiment evidentially proved that DNA is the genetic material. Now we will study about how they conducted the experiment. Simple. Their evidence about DNA as the genetic material come from various experiments conducted by them, and they conducted these all experiments into a bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a phage virus. They conducted their all experiment in T2 phage. T2 phage, this is a bacteriophage that infect E. coli cells. E. coli is common coli, Escherichia coli, that has been infected by the T2 phage. This T2 phage genome simply consists of C. It has a head portion that mainly consists of a capsid. This is the viral head, and this head contains DNA genome, and this is the protein cap or capsid. So the very basis of their experiment in T2 phage was that the protein coat of the T2 phage virus, see, protein coat and the DNA of phage. There were several component remedies. See, protein coat contains sulfur, okay, but in DNA sulfur is absent. In the case of phosphorus in protein coat, phosphorus is absent, but in DNA phosphorus is present. This was the main criteria used by Hershey and Chase to prove that DNA is the genetic material. In protein coat, the protein coat of the virus, sulfur is present, but inside the DNA, as I taught you in first lecture, that DNA contains phosphorus, okay. So in the case of DNA, phosphorus is present. So the long running debate was between the protein or DNA, which is the genetic material. If protein is the genetic material, then any E. coli cell infected by the T2 phage should contain sulfur, okay. If DNA was the genetic material, then any E. coli cell infected by T2 phage should contain phosphorus. Clear? So from their experiment they simply have to gather either they are getting sulfur or they are getting phosphorus. If sulfur is present inside the cell, that means protein is the genetic material, but if phosphorus is present inside the cell, then DNA must be their genetic material. Okay, clear? For proving this simple theory, they used radio label isotope. The common isotope used for them for phosphorus was P32, and by P32 they labeled Phage DNA. We know that P31 is the common phosphorus isotope, but for this experiment they used P32 radio labeled isotope to code DNA, and in the case of sulfur they took radioisotope of sulfur S35 to code it protein. Okay, protein is present in the head portion of the virus. So they took two isotopes, P32 which is a radioisotope and S35 which is also a radioisotope. By S35 they labeled the protein code of the virus, and by P32 they labeled the DNA of the virus. Okay, clear? So what was their experiment? Now we will study their experiment stepwise, one by one. See, when any E. coli cell is infected by a viral particle, this is a simple E. coli cell, Enterocolon bacteria, plus this was infected by T2 phage that contains double-stranded DNA as the genetic material, and in the presence of T2 phage these E. coli cells were left for around 10 minutes. Okay, clear? So as it was given time to infect the E. coli cell, the viral particles get attached to the E. coli cell. And what they had done? They had injected their DNA inside the cell. Okay? When virus particles, mainly bacteriophage, infect a cell, they simply inject their genetic material, whether that is RNA or that is DNA, that may be a single-stranded or maybe a double-stranded. That genetic material is simply injected inside the cell by the virus. Virus is mainly non-living particle, but inside a specific host they can act like a living. When they enter their genetic material inside the cell, it guides the synthesis, mainly transcription and translation of various proteins needed to assemble the phage particle. And at the end, when large number of phage particles are assembled, new phages causes lysis of the bacteria cell and they are released in the surrounding environment. Okay, so simply we know that the protein coat remains outside of the cell and the DNA enters inside the cell. So simply, if protein is the genetic material, then radio labeled S35 isotope should be present inside the cell. If DNA is the genetic material, then phosphorus radio labeled isotope should be present inside the cell, as protein coats are left outside. So what they had got from that experiment, now from this cell suspension, Hershey and Chase simply blended this in a blender to remove the mainly the unadsorbed material. So what do we got? After that they centrifuged this cell extract, centrifugation. See, this is the pellet part, this is the supernatant. So now in the pellet part, this pellet part contains cell extracts, means the parts present inside the cell, mainly bacterial cells. So the molecule that entered the bacterial cells should have been present in the pellet form. In the supernatant, the remedies, the proteins that were present outside were present. So in the supernatant, there was little radioactivity was found, okay, but mainly that contain of sulfur S35, but the pellet contain P32 isotope of phosphorus. See, as the protein coats remain outside of the cell, they did not enter the cell. So after blending and centrifugation, these were present in the supernatant. So the little radioactivity that was found outside was S35 radioisotope, but the pellet that contained the cells along with the transforming molecule that is responsible for the genetic assembly of Faj particles, this was present in the pellet. And what was present? Phosphorus radioisotope P32, because the cells were grown in S35 and P32 medium. Okay, so that proves that phosphorus is a component of that genetic material which was DNA. But this experiment, Hersey and Chase were lucky. Why lucky? Because for this experiment they had taken T2 phage, whose genetic material is luckily DNA. Clear? This is a DNA virus. So this experiment directly proved that DNA is the genetic material, because DNA contains phosphorus as a component which was found present in the pellet that goes inside the cell, and this guide the cell. Simply remember, the virus particles only can access to its susceptible host, and they simply use the cells of the host just like a kitchen. Okay, your cell is kitchen of the virus, bacteriophage. They use it, they make proteins that they need by your ribosome and your other cell organelles, and at last assemble them. And when the complete Faj particles are present, they lyse the cell and release. So this was the groundbreaking experiment by Hersey and Chase that proved that DNA is the genetic material. And this experiment also ended the long running debate that whether protein or DNA is the genetic material. Okay, clear? This is a very much important experiment in the biological science, and in next class we will study about the denaturation of DNA. Thank you.